Tonight, the national conversation has moved from justice for George Floyd to preventing more deaths, just like his. Both officers and activists agree at the end of the night, everyone deserves to go home. So what does that take? Well, KCTV5's Abby Dodge went through training with local officers.
The Bonner Springs Police Department is finally getting to put their training simulator to use. Officers have been working out of a temporary space until they got their new building and training room set up.
This machine is how we put the gas into the magazines.
Just like that, officers can step into a simulated reality.
Hey, Robert, what's going on?
Sergeant Heather Pate walked us through a couple of scenarios.
You doing okay there, bud?
With Sergeant Jeff Weissman behind the controls.
We can escalate it, de-escalate it, have them reach into the trunk.
I tried a scenario where there were reports of a man with a gun inside his former workplace.
John, put the gun down.
The sergeants went through aspects of the job I did and didn't have a grasp on.
The one scenario where he pulls the gun on a civilian. I don't know what his intent is, but I'm not going to wait to find out because by then it's too late. Drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun!
Say you are in the scenario shot or shot at the end of the day, you still get to go home.
While more officers are getting trained on simulators, organizations are looking to change policy.
The understanding of our organization is that we know that we have to be strategic and we know what we have to do to get things moving.
Kiku Brooks and Keith Dixon are with More Squared. It's an interfaith social justice organization in the metro.
It's time we get in here and really gut everything out and not just mow it down and not just wipe it over. We have to gut out the entire culture of race in our country.
Brooks says solutions for Kansas City start with restructuring. To her, that means local control and the firing of Chief Rick Smith, something groups have been asking for since protests began following the death of George Floyd.
If a police officer obviously makes the wrong choice or makes the wrong decision or some sort of action that impacted someone else's life or livelihood, that particular individual should be held accountable.
I asked Brooks about adding simulator training for police officers.
It may be fitting for a small police department. But here I don't think that that's enough.
And I think the simulation is a great step. I think forming relationships with the community in which you police is another important step, right? Because you need to know who it is that you're supposed to be serving.
I'm just tired of mourning the deaths of individuals who deserve a court date and not a corpse bag. People who deserve a hearing and not a ride in a hearse. People who deserve to go home. These people deserve to go home, just like the cops deserve to go home. Everybody deserves to go home and have a fair hearing.
A hearing some will never get. In Kansas City, Abby Dodge, KC, TV5 News.